Good morning, my beautiful friends. It is an eerie morning out here this morning. I'm down on my jetty because it's super early. My family's all still asleep. And I did witness the most spectacular sunrise this morning. And I got to see it twice, right? Because it rose above, you'll see behind me, like above the mountains and well, hills, whatever you call it, like the island behind me. And then it hit another layer of clouds. So then it rose again above the clouds. So it was so beautiful. And then after the sunrise, I had a lot of stuff really hit the surface for me this morning. I was crying. I had a lot of revelations, a lot of shifts come up, and it turned eerie. So the time I'm recording, it's like all foggy behind me. The clouds are thick, and this big, it went from this beautiful sunrise to this like fog, like thick blanket of fog come over, where from my house I couldn't even see past my jetty. I'm down on the jetty now, and it's starting to ease, but it got so eerie, and I really felt this represented how I've been feeling and how things can change. Where the sun's out, everything feels great, everything feels roses, to this thick blanket of like fog, or the shadow or the darkness kind of comes in waves over us. But then guess what? It clears again, right? It definitely clears again. And it always, life's constantly evolving, constantly shifting. It comes in waves, it comes in cycles. And this morning I was in one of those cycles where, not just this morning, all week, okay? So I'm just gonna get straight into this episode. I feel like I had been hit by a cosmic bus. And as I tell you this big, great big like ferry shipping kind of is coming up behind me. It goes from here, our place, over to the islands and takes like machinery or cars, and it's huge. And I literally felt like I got hit by this cosmic, spiritual, energetic bus this last week. Like, I've been tested, I've been upset, I've been feeling drained. Like, my energy feels so drained. I felt so tired. I felt like my eyes were just falling out of my head. I've lost my motivation. I've lost my willpower. I've been eating rubbish. Like, everything's kind of gone out the window. And I'm always real and honest, raw with you guys, tell you the truth, tell you how it is. I'm human too, like all of you. We're having this spiritual experience in this human body. And these things happen to us. And sometimes it can be, if you look at what's going on collectively around you, you can see maybe other people are going through similar things, that maybe the energy can be a bit heavy or dense, or it's almost like, for me, it feels like I'm about to cross a threshold, and we can be tested when we're about to cross a threshold. Past things can resurface, hard things can come up to actually, it's almost like the universe goes to, how bad do you want it? Do you really want this? And I see it show up in different ways for myself and for my community. You know, I've seen it show up in people, even like my psychic medium healer friend Kira. Like, I had to help her through when we were going on Bali and retreat. A couple of things come up for her with vertigo, she was on crutches, and it's almost like and I'm like, you need to come. No matter what's going on, you need to come, because you're being tested right now. And when you come and you get through the other side and you see like the light at the end of the tunnel, you see what is waiting for you, you see how this can help you, you will then understand. But at the time, it all feels way too hard. And she said the same thing. She's like, thank you for making me, thank you for helping me come. And we see it in clients as well, you know, as I'll go through with you in a minute. We see it in clients when things get hard. What happens? They quit on all the things that are good for them. They quit on taking care of themselves. We get stuck in this funk. And I felt like that this morning, all week. I've been low on energy. I've been tired. I feel like my eyes were hanging out of my head. I've got Bali coming up in 2 weeks, not long to go. So every time I get to that point going to Bali, there's a lot to go on. There's a lot to tidy up in your business before you go. There's a lot to organize before you go. There's a lot in your household, in your family before you go. There's so much happening. And I'm trying to get this course launched, get it ready up in time before I go. I've had tests with that. And all of these things have come up for me where, I'll give you an example. So early on in the week, so there's been a few things going on with extended family, which everyone has stuff with their family. There's been, I got, actually, I wrote some of this down in my journal. I let it all pour out this morning. And what else has been going on for me? I've been tired, I've been struggling. I've had members cancelling. I'm really honest with you guys, because people think sometimes business is easy. It's easy for you, running your own business. It's freaking hard sometimes. I've had like money dry up, that I had a lot more in there. I've been chewing through that. I've been getting distracted. I've lost my motivation with what I'm trying to do. I've been feeling overwhelmed about everything going on at the moment. I've been feeling, I got scammed as well. Like I got an email from LSKD, like talking about this great collab offer, things like that. I got excited by, I felt seen, like all of these things come up. Then I've discovered, reading it a little bit more, reading through things, I'm like, this doesn't add up. This is not right. And I realized like it was a scam email. They must have got something from my socials. So I felt disappointed about that. I was still doubting. I saw the test in that when I got the email from them, the fake email from them. I doubted myself because these thoughts went through my mind were, am I good enough? Do I have a big enough following? All those things come up about my worth. So that was tested. I had, like I said, members cancel because energetically stuff is hard at the moment. I can see what's happening. If I feel like I'm losing motivation, I'm getting tired, I'm having stuff come up. Often that's what's happening collectively as well. And I know people are feeling that, and I'm just going, I just can't show up for myself at the moment. So I've had members quitting. I've had like class numbers have been low. I've had somebody message. I had a spot to fill on retreat because somebody got hurt themselves. And then, so I already had that in the back of my mind. I've got to fill this other spot. And then somebody else just emailed yesterday saying, that she's struggling with a few things, with vertigo, not sure how her health is going, and is not sure if she's going to be able to make it, but just give me a heads up. She's got to go to doctors and things like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And last week I pulled a card, this Dark Night of the Soul card. And I pulled that card and I'm like, what does this mean? What's coming? And it dawned on me, I was talking to Curious, and it dawned on me like, this is, all this Dark Night of the Soul stuff is coming up. And I look at it this way, you have two choices, right? You work through it, or you let it defeat you. So all of that was kind of coming up, and I just felt I was like being tested. And let me take you back what happened a few days ago. So I had this will make a bit of sense, but it might sound really quite woo, okay? I believe everybody has got a spirit guide or several spirit guides, like a spirit team, a support team, helping you through life, helping you through challenging times, and helping you through different situations, helping you evolve, helping you grow. And I believe they interchange. I believe that certain guides come in at certain times when you need them, and then once they're kind of helped you get to a certain point, I feel like a changing of the guard where they kind of change over. And I had this feeling like a new guide was coming in. I just had this little feeling, right? And then early on this week, I pulled this card that said the other world. And it said somebody from the spirit world it talked about really believing in your psychic medium ability. That was a strong message that you've got this ability. And the other thing is someone from the other world is trying to connect with you, trying to communicate with you, and then it's up to us to figure it out, right? Like these cards just give us a message, they give us like a little bit of communication, and then it's up to us to ask our soul the questions and go, well, what does that mean? How can I interpret that? And learning to trust yourself in the answers that come up for you, learning to trust in your guidance. So I've pulled this card and I went, okay, cool. I'm gonna sit at, the old me would have been freaked out by that, but I've learned that these things happen for a reason. It's the truth. It's telling me something. So I went, okay, I'm going to sit in meditation. I'm going to see what comes through. So this was about 3 days ago. And I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden, I'm going to explain to you how this feels, because it's different for everybody, but it might help bridge that gap between the spirit and the human part of us, right? Like our heart and soul and our mind, and how I feel things, how I see things, how I sense things which might help you have a bit of a deeper understanding, okay? So when I say to you, I felt immediately like my Ulpa come through, my great grandmother come through, and another person connected in a situation come through. It's almost like sometimes I see their face. I will see, it's like a photo. You know, when you remember someone who's died and you remember a photo of them, or you remember a moment with them, or you remember words that they say to you, like you can hear the sound of their voice. That's what it's like, right? So I kind of had this feeling of my Ulpa, my great grandmother, and somebody else who come through. And my immediate thought was, like, my Ulpa is very strong, Maltese type personality, very, very strong. And I had this feeling like I had to connect with a spirit guide. I've said to my Ulpa, no, like, you're not who I'm meant to connect with right now. I can feel your energy coming through. And that's okay. But no, like, I want to connect with my spirit guide. And I felt like I really had to put my boundaries up in place and say, otherwise I feel energetically, if you open yourself up to everybody and everything, especially when you're starting to really dive into that spirit world, I feel like you can open a gateway for anybody to come through. So you have to have energetic boundaries. And I'll talk to you a bit more about this if you jump into my Return to Authenticity course. We talk about all this stuff and I show you a lot more, I teach you a lot more. But I had to put my boundaries up and say, I'm here to connect with my spirit guide. Thank you, I love you, but because I felt him saying, you need to fix this situation. There's a situation going on with extended family, and I felt him saying, like, you need to help, you need to fix it. And why me? Because I'm the one that's most open. I'm the one that messages can come through. I'm the one that has a level head. I'm the one that has a different perspective, and I can connect with source, connect with spirit. I mean, everybody can, but I'm an open channel. I really am open to it. And I'm like, I know, but this is not my place. This is not my stuff. I don't want to get involved. No. Put my boundaries up and said, thank you. I'll, love you, but no, you need to go and help them. And anyway, then all of a sudden I kind of dropped in a little bit deeper and I felt like I asked the question, who is my spirit guide? And that's as simple as it can be. Ask the question, listen for the answer. And then a voice popped in my head. As quickly as I asked the question, I got a name, Wilma. And like I said, if you're listening to this and you're not there yet, you might be going, this is really weird. But anyway, this word popped in my head, Wilma. And I'll tell you, like, just honestly what come up. I'm like, who the fuck is Wilma? And I was thinking, like, the only time I've ever heard Wilma is in Wilma Flintstone. And but I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to roll with it. And then I had this vision of, it's almost like a dream or like a movie is playing out, where she took my hand. She was just like in this beautiful angelic kind of white dress, almost like very proper, very, what's the word? Like leader, regal, like this really beautiful, powerful energy. She took me on a little journey. I had my eyes closed. I'm listening to some really beautiful music. And it's almost like she showed me glimpses of my future. She showed me what's possible for me. She showed me my dreams and goals. And I felt like they were actually happening. And I felt like she was taking my hand going, babe, I can get you there. Like, I can help you along the way. Trust in me. I'm your next teacher. Basically, like, I'm your next teacher helping you get to the next level. Or, like that next class, that next evolution. That's kind of what come up. And I was really intrigued. So I dropped out of meditation and I'm like, that is so random, because sometimes you think of spirit guides. Are they going to be someone I know? Are they going to be someone who's passed over? Is it going to be an archangel? Is it going to be, like somebody who you've loved and lost? And they can definitely come through. And that has happened for me in the past. But this time I felt like, I'm just going to trust in that name, because I've had chats with Kira about this, I've read about this, and it can be like people that you don't know that are meant to take you to this next level, that are meant to help you progress on your spiritual path. So I had this feeling like Wilma's short for something, whether it's Wilpina, Wilpama, I don't know. So what do? I get out my phone and I just had this nudge. Google, what's the spiritual meaning of the name Wilma? So I Googled that and I got all of these things come up. I got my journal here too to share a few things. And it had in here that it means will, desire, protection, absolute, resolute protection, determined, guardian, qualities of strength, purpose, a strong inner will to act as a voice of reason, a strong conviction to carry out one's will or desire, someone who's steadfast in their resolve to safeguard others or a cause, a drive to achieve their goals and stand for what they believe in, independence and leadership and the ability to guide or influence. And Wilma carries a powerful symbolic charge of inner strength, determination, and protective spirit, offering a spiritual connection to qualities of a steadfast, grounded guardian and a powerful, purposeful individual. I went, okay, that's cool. That's probably what I need right now to get to this next level, let's just call it, or for me to evolve. And then I saw something in there in the Google, and it was a link to this person, Wilma, which was a Dutch queen and the world's first female billionaire. And I thought, well, that's interesting because my grandmother, she's still with me, my Oma, is Dutch. Oma and Opa is Dutch. And I simply said, thank you. Okay, that's great. Like maybe this Dutch heritage is coming through. This person, this past soul, who's obviously a powerful queen, leader, is here to help me on my next journey. So I sat with all of that. Then the next day, I had a sat in meditation again. And like, guys, sometimes this can just be 5 minutes of just closing my eyes. I'm not sitting there all the time for like half an hour a day. Like it can be 5 minutes of just sitting, watching the sunrise, have my raw cacao, close my eyes and see what comes through. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's just listening to the peacefulness, listening to the morning come alive, right? So anyway, I'm sitting there in meditation and I feel my Opa come through really strong again. And I just get this voice pop through that says, tell so-and-so to read my book, which is his only book he ever read. He said it helped him through a really dark time, called The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Read that book. It's a brilliant book. And anyway, so I'm like, fine. And I text this person in my family. I wrote out this beautiful text and I went to send it. Well, I wrote it in my notes. So when it's too early to send it, I'll send it later. But I'm just writing down what comes through. So I write it all down. And there was things in there that were quite deep, I just write what comes through like I'm a channel. I can't help it. I just type. And some things that probably needed to be said. And I write it down. I always send it, say things with love. And then after I wrote it down, I went, I'll send that later. I trust that whatever's meant to, however they interpret it, I trust that I'm the messenger. I can share things in class. I can share things on my podcast. I can share things with people in person. And I'm just the messenger. What I've had to learn to let go of is that fear of how are people going to interpret it? What are they going to think of me? Like all of those things that go through your head. I've learned to trust and go, if it comes through me like a channel, it's meant to, and I have to let go of the attachment of the outcome and just trust that they will get what they need out of it. They might not be happy with me, they might be in denial, they might not agree with it, but they might sit and read it back later and come to some conclusions. Same with when I say things to my family, or I've said things in class where it's come out of me and I'm like, oh, that was a bit blunt. And I'm like, okay, no, someone in class needed to hear that. Okay, move on. So I did all that, and then I look up, I just get an inkling to look up. There were dolphins down here swimming around my jetty, and like they don't happen all the time. I can go weeks, ages without seeing them. And to be so divinely guided in that split second to look up, as because they only kind of come up, whoosh, and then down again, right? So they've come up and right around my jetty. I've come down the jetty, I'm watching them, they're splashing around near the shore. They must have been chasing some fish. And I get this feeling come through again from my grandfather of, thank you. I'm so grateful that you did that. And it's like he's sending me a message. For me, the dolphins represent that this is like nature plays with you. When you get really spiritually connected, nature plays with you, whether it's butterflies, dolphins in my instance, my friend Kira gets whales when she's sitting watching the beach, whether it's a bluebird, an eagle, a dragonfly, something, frogs, I've had friends with frogs, something will talk to you and get your attention, and it's unique for you, okay? And this is what's unique for me. And it's like a message from my grandfather, a message from the universe going, you're divinely connected, you're supported, we're listening to you, we're here on the other side. But also it was like a message of my Ulfa saying, thank you. So I'm like, okay, that's amazing, but I'm done. Like, I'm done now. Whatever's meant to happen has to happen, and I let it, and I actually let it go. So I was feeling, the reason I'm telling you all of that story is, one, how I connected with my spirit guide, but also two, how I hear things, how I feel things, how these visions come through, and three, how I was feeling so energetically drained. So all of this contributed to like this week where I've got things to do. I've got my course to work on. And here I feel like I'm being pulled in this direction, and it's energetically draining me. As much as I love my family, as much as I love my grandfather, there were things that was just making me feel overwhelmed with that whole situation. And then everything I spoke about at the beginning of class, at the beginning of this podcast, what I was battling with this week, okay? So then what happened this morning, I started journaling because I had this feeling like you just need to journal, because when you journal, things come up that you don't even realize, and it's a way of healing. It's a way of putting out there the problems or the struggles or what's going on with you, writing it out. It's a way of releasing it. It's a way of letting go. It's a way of healing. And when you write, answers can come through for you, or a different perspective can come through for you. And at first, it might just feel like you're just writing stuff down. You don't even know what you're writing or why you're writing it. Just go with it. Just write down what comes up. And I want to share with you a little bit of what happened when I wrote. So I was writing down around my week, all the things that I shared with you. I was just writing it down. I was writing down the feelings of doubt in myself, or the feelings of overwhelm, the feelings of struggle. I was writing down everything that I was struggling with, and I just started crying. I was just like, this is all too much. And I just started crying. And then a thought popped into my head as I was writing: you're being tested. This is your test before you cross over to the next level. This is your test going, how bad do you really want what you want? This is your test to help you level up and help you grow in your spiritual advancement. This is your test just before you break through, almost like just before you cross a threshold. And so I started writing down, okay, I'm being tested. How bad do I want it? Am I prepared to do the work? And I got a vision come through around, it flashes through really quickly. It's almost like a memory, okay? So like a memory come through of somebody who was going to run retreats. It was kind of took me back to how I was feeling. Someone said to me, like they're going to run retreats. They've basically been on my retreat, come out of it, and kind of said, I want to go and run retreats. And I thought back to, at first I'll be really honest with you, at first I was feeling, oh my God, are you going to take all my intellectual property and use my villa and do everything and recreate what I've done and then go and sell it in the same community forums that I'm in? I did feel a little bit like that at first, but then I was like, no, just whatever's meant to be will be, let it go. And I sent her love, let it go. And because I'm telling you the truth, like those human thoughts come in, the human part of us come in, and then that soul part of me had to go, well, no, you just stay on your own path. You just do what you're doing. Whatever's meant to be will be. Anyway, she didn't end up going through with him. None of my business. Don't know what happened. And so I thought back. It flashed in my mind about how running a retreat is hard. Not everybody can do it, and how like the excitement of, yes, this other person, I'm going to do retreats, and then this is actually hard and I'm going to quit, or I'm going to put it to the side. I might revisit later. I don't know. It's not my place to know. I'm not sure. But that flashed in my mind how, yes, it was going to happen, and then no, too much, and for some reason quit. And I thought about it and I went, everything was coming up for me. Running a business is hard. Taking 8 girls away on retreat is hard. You're going away from your family for a week. You're running a risk of, when you go on a retreat, particularly an overseas one, you have to fill spots, right? Because what happens if you don't? You outlaid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for this beautiful villa a long time ago before you've sold the spots to secure it. You're outlaying money for everything. And if you don't fill your retreat, there is risk of not making any money, or secondly, it costing you money. So you can do all the work, the emotional investment, the spiritual investment, the week away from your family, the days when you come home feeling like absolutely like you've been hit by a bus. Because people go, oh, it's so great, like you run retreats, you get to go overseas, and it is fucking amazing. I love it. I'm not going to lie. It is incredible. I love it. I love giving. I love serving. You're there. You're on for 24/7 for 8 days straight. Like not just in your practices in the morning, organizing the retreat, making sure everything's running smoothly, answering everybody's questions, getting them organized. You're chatting with people the whole time in transport when you're going to, experiences, excursions, dinners. Like you're with people for 8 days straight, and it's a lot. But I know how to protect myself. I know how to what's the word? Like I know how to replenish my stores when I'm over there every single day. So in the moment, it doesn't feel like a lot for me. I love it. I love the transformation of the girls. I love seeing it through their eyes. I love it so much. But it's a lot of investment, the lead up to, the prep, the coming out of it, and you're taking a week away from your family. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So you want it to be profitable. So there's a big risk involved with doing these things. And it is hard. I'm not going to lie. But I'm at a point, it feels effortless for me, but there are still moments that it is hard. And especially when you're starting up, it definitely feels hard. So I started writing down this morning, that flashed into my mind, and I'm like, it's actually really hard. Like not everybody can do it. And then I started, all these things were starting to come through with me were, the pressure to host a retreat is hard. I'll write down some of the things. Getting numbers for it is hard. Running a business is hard. Creating an online course is hard. Getting low on your funds in your business is hard. A disappointment is hard. Being that psychic medium energy healer, having that open up and a lot of people open up to you can be hard. Giving and helping is hard. Eating clean and taking care of yourself consistently is hard. Not getting distracted with social media is hard. Procrastination is hard. People canceling on you is hard. And I started writing out all of these things. It just started pouring out of me. All of these things that it's hard, and we all have our own version of hard in our own unique way. Listing all of these things. And I was talking to Kira the other day, and we were talking about like we said, this spiritual work is hard. You have to look at your stuff, and sometimes we don't want to. We just want to bury it deep down inside. Being different is hard. Like just putting yourself out there, even with what I share, it is hard. You open yourself up to judgment. You open yourself up to criticism. You open yourself up to people's opinions. Doing the spiritual work is hard. Having the courage to be your authentic self, regardless of what's going on, is hard because it's easier to fit in with the crowd. It's easier to do what everyone else does. Running your own business is hard. There's definitely times I go, it would be easier to get a job and have a consistent pay, high paid. I could get a high paid job, no worries. And that would be a lot easier, it's safety, it's security, it's predictable, like all of those things. You're getting this certain paycheck at the end of the week. All of this is hard. I had a conversation with my daughter during the week around, I was telling her what happened with my spirit guides. I was telling her with what happened with family situation. I was sharing a lot of stuff with her. And I said to her, babe, like I'm telling you this because I believe you've got I'm telling you these stories because I believe that you've got these intuitive, she's so wise. She's so wise for her age, and she doesn't see it yet, but neither did I at her age. And I'm like, babe, I believe you've got these abilities within you that will come out in you one day. And she's like, no, I don't. Like, I'm not into that spiritual stuff. And you feel as a mum, you're trying to teach your kids, you're trying to help them, and they reject it. They think you're stupid, like they ignore it because they're going through their own journey. That is hard. Being different in your family is hard, like all of these things. And it's so hard to let your real self shine bright. It's so hard to let your real self be seen. It's so hard to speak your honest to God truth when you feel sometimes like you're the black sheep, or you feel a bit different, or you feel vulnerable, you feel raw, you feel like your family don't get you, or you feel like people around you don't get you. You feel like you're on purpose, you're on this mission. It's like when you go and start, you hear it from people all the time. I was listening to one of my favorite brands, Kavari. You know why I love that brand so much? Like, her clothes are amazing. They make me feel like a goddess. But I love it because she's a real woman like me that founded this business. And she said when she started the business, she started importing wallets from Bali and selling them at the markets. But she had a big vision. She was an air hostess at the time with Emirates. And she had a big vision of where she could see herself going. People see her picture now where she's like opened 20-something stores. She's, living this really amazing life. But they don't see, like, I listened to her story about when she was selling wallets at markets, and people saying, like, you're crazy, like, you've got this little dream, like, she goes, people didn't see my dream, but people were quick to say, how are you going to make money selling wallets at markets, kind of thing. So you might have a dream, you might have things that you want to do, you might have a business idea, you might have a bigger purpose, and people don't get it, or people don't see the vision that you have, or people don't see the bigger picture or see what you can achieve. They're not in your head. Like my kids say to me, you're not in my head. They're not in your head. They're not in your soul. They're not here for your same purpose, for your same mission, your same vision. And it can be hard when you've got all this exterior noise around you. It is so hard to keep fighting for your dream. It is so hard to keep pushing through. It's so hard to start the business when you don't have the money yet, or you don't have the people yet, or, there's all our own versions of hard, and it can come through motherhood, it can come through work, career, it can come through finances, it can come through spirituality, it can come through a health and fitness and weight loss journey. Like, there's all of these, like when you got people around you tempting you with all these things, and at your core what you're meant to do and how you're meant to do it, and you get temptation, you get procrastination, you get fear, you get this worry of not doing what everybody else does, this worry about being different, this worry about letting your real self be seen. There's so many fears and doubts and visions and versions of hard that come into your world that it can stop you in your tracks, and it can make you quit. It can make you go back to your old ways, and it can really just break you. And I was sitting with all of this morning. Then I just started writing out. I was writing out all the things that are hard, like taking care of yourself is hard, running a business is hard, blah, blah, blah. Writing it all down, I shared with you before. Then my pen just started taking over again, and I wrote down, but I'm stronger than hard. I'm more determined than hard. I have a bigger purpose and mission than hard. My desires are bigger than hard. My pure desire to serve is bigger than hard. The money that's sitting there for me is bigger than hard. What I want for my community and people is bigger than hard. What I want for my family, our lifestyle, our life experience, our dreams, what I want to provide them with is bigger, in capital letters, than hard. I wrote down being a leader, being an influence in the world, feeling like you can do great things, or being destined for greatness, or strong-willed, and what I want for my I've got this keen business mind, I'm creative. And I started writing down all the things that I have, all the things that I have within me, my desires, leaving a legacy for my family, leaving wealth and abundance for my family, making an impact, making a difference in the world, helping people to live more authentic, pure lives that are in alignment with them. And then I started writing down, thank you to my spirit guide, Wilma. It feels so weird writing that down, but thank you. For my Dutch heritage. Thank you for showing me all this today. Thank you for helping me cry, helping me heal, helping me release, helping me shift. And thank you for that dark night of the soul, because it's shown me what I'm capable of, and it's helped me to keep going with strength and love and faith. So all of these things were stuck inside me, and I didn't realize until I started writing. And it was when I started writing that I started writing down all these things that I felt were hard. And the power in journaling, the power in sitting and reflecting is incredible. I was listening to Madonna yesterday. Jay Shetty did an interview with Madonna. Don't ask me why, I was curious to listen. And like she said, a spiritual life is hard, because it constantly makes you look at yourself and look at your stuff. And she spoke about being so different to the world and having eyes on her all the time, and the pressure that it created. And no matter what was going on, she had to stick to her her spiritual path, and she spoke about her practice with Kabbalah and how she's been studying it for over 28 years. I did not know that about her, and how it's kept her safe, how it's helped her heal, it's helped her through all of these different adversities that she's been through, including robbery, rape, a whole heap of different things. I was like, oh my goodness, I've seen you in a completely different, I've always loved Madonna. Her music's amazing. I think she's an amazing creative artist, and I saw her in a completely different light. And it reminded me, there was a reason I had to listen to, or her podcast crossed my path through social media yesterday, reminding me of that commitment to a spiritual life. And that's what she spoke about, and that's what I want to share with you today. So your commitment to a spiritual life could be through your journaling, could be through taking that time, like I do a lot of mornings if I'm not in the studio, which is hard. I get up before my family, and I know that this is the most powerful time in the day when I'm at peace and I'm connected, and I take, could be 10 minutes, sometimes an hour, whatever I've got in the day, it doesn't matter. And I take that time for me to ask questions. And the big part of the spiritual life is asking questions and learning to listen to the answers and trust in the guidance that you're coming through. They don't always have to come through journaling, my friends. Like, they can come through angel cards. They can come through sitting out, watching the sunrise, having a raw cacao or having a cuppa. They can come through grounding. They can come through yoga. It can come through meditation. It can come through reading spiritual books. It can come through going to church or going to spiritual, religious things. There is no right or wrong answer. The right is what's right for you. That's the most important thing. But having a spiritual life is getting connected with your inner world and asking questions and really looking through the eyes of curiosity, through the eyes of just asking questions and being curious and wanting to get to know yourself a little bit deeper, wanting to reflect on, why is this happening? It's not happening to me, it's happening for me, and it's happening for my growth. There's spiritual lessons that I need to learn in this lifetime, and maybe asking the question, what do I need to learn from this? So there's a whole range of tools that you can use that can help you get through challenging times. And that's what I really want to share with you today. Share with you the example of what's been coming up for me. Share with you, like, it's not all roses for everybody. Sometimes it's easy to look on the outside and go, they've got their shit together, things work out for them, they've got, money, or they've got abundance, or they've got this stuff. Why don't I? Ask yourself the question, why do I feel jealous of that? Or why do I feel intrigued by that? Or what's prompting me to ask that? And sometimes it can be people show you what's possible for you. When you look at what other people have got and you're excited by that, or you're driven by that, it's possible for you too, But having that spiritual life is asking questions and going within and giving yourself the time and space and resources. Like Madonna said, she said, I studied Kabbalah, and she goes, people would say to me, she said my manager would go, why are you late? Why are you, and she goes, I would do my prayers before my show. She goes, people don't understand that. They just see she's late, she's a diva. She goes, but what they didn't know is behind closed doors, I'm doing my spiritual rituals, I'm praying, I'm visioning what I want my show to be like. And to me, that's my priority. And I make sure I do it because that's more important to me than other people's expectations, is my inner world and my spiritual life. I listened to that, I was like, oh wow, like that's amazing. And what happened this morning was, I shared everything that I shared with you. I want to share with you 2 cards because there's a lot of powerful lessons in it for me, but also for you. And you just can't make this stuff up. After everything that I shared with you this morning, I pulled this card from my beautiful White Light Oracle deck from Alana Fairchild. And the sun's out now. It's glistening on the water. It's beautiful. The light is back. And it says, I'm going to read a little bit of this card, and please really listen to the words, okay? This card spoke to me and said, you have what it takes. When I'm feeling defeated, I'm feeling like, what the hell am I doing? This card literally says, it's like it knew how I was feeling and says, you have what it takes. You're a light bearer. Within you is a healing power and spiritual wisdom you can tap into to find your way through any confusion or doubt. Have confidence in yourself and know that you are enough. Expect an affirming yes from the universe. Our sun is a self-luminous being. It does not reflect light energy or energy from other sources, but it generates its own light. It is quite literally an enlightened being. The sun is our spiritual mentor. And girls, like, this is why I am it's like I get pulled to the sun every morning. I cannot explain it. Even in my last house, before I moved here, overlooking the beautiful sunrise over the water, in my last house, I was drawn to go and connect with the sun every morning and find my sunrise down at the oval or on my walks, and I would stand under the sun. I'm just drawn to it. And it's because it is an enlightened being. The sun is your spiritual mentor. And I know when I stand under the sun, whether it's the sunrise, under the sun in the middle of the day, sunset, doesn't matter. I know that it's almost like it gives me peace. I can feel the sun's rays. It's almost like this light filling up every cell in my being. And it prompts me to sit in there and be mindful and be present. And that is a spiritual practice in itself. And it said, the sun is our spiritual mentor, teaching us how to be spiritually self-reliant when we cannot find support or guidance externally and need to go it alone for a time. You've got all the answers within, angels. Such phases can be difficult, but they are temporary. Just like this morning, the fog come over, it passed, the light's back out. This is a reflection of life. We go through challenges, we go through hard times, we go through feelings of overwhelm, feelings of all those feelings I described before. It's temporary. This too shall pass. But inner spiritual strength is built during such times. It made me understand my strength. It made me realize what I want that is more than hard. Back to the card. Sometimes we don't realize our own strength until circumstances force us to find out. Connecting to one's own inner light is precious and empowering gift. It allows you to feel spiritually held from within. Once you've established such an inner connection, you are unlikely to give your power away again. Less prone to being manipulated and more likely to live in harmony with your soul values rather than the typical soul denying properties of mass consciousness. Basically saying when you have your spiritual life, when you have your spiritual practice, you learn to listen within rather than people around you. You learn to trust in yourself rather than what everybody else tells you to do. So at challenging times, at testing times, at times that are hard, what is your soul telling you need? Ask yourself the question. You don't have to go and ask everybody else. You don't have to spill your problems to everybody else. Tune within, tune to your journal. Ask God, ask Source, ask Divine. You'll be amazed at the answers that you get. They might not come to you straight away, but you might get an aha moment. Like I've told you about some of my visions or some of my feelings or some of my messages in my oracle cards. It's like it tells you what you need to hear to help you get through these times. It says, as your soul connects to your inner sun, your relationship to the light heals. It's not separate. Instead, your soul begins to recognize the light as a constant inner reality that can be relied on for your sanctuary. It recognizes itself as the higher self and a being of light. And the fears of the mind, all those fears that I had, all those feelings of overwhelm before, no longer dominate the heart as they used to. You see more clearly. You shift your perspective, girls. Then it says, the soul turns within and it begins to tap into its own potential, and in doing so gains further confidence, spiritual empowerment, and loving presence. If you're criticized, misunderstood, or disrespected by those around you, rely on your own inner connection to the light to see you through dark times. You can commune with your inner light in private without needing to explain, justify, or even speak of it to anyone. Your inner light shall continue to shine bright no matter what is happening around you. It was so powerful, so powerful. This last bit of the card says, this frequency facilitates a healing shift into the vibration of the higher self. Listen to this. Your authentic life path is directed by your higher self. It is unique. There is no use comparing your path to any other path in order to determine its validity and value. Your true life path may lead you away from the familiar, as mine is, directly into worlds unknown. But the moment that soul takes its authentic path, wondrous awakening can take place. There's a feeling of closeness and connection to the sacred. And then it goes on a little bit more, but then it says, in this oracle, it signifies no matter what's happening in your life, you've got this. Girls, you've got this. I've got this. You've got this. No matter what is happening, turn to your inner resources. And this last just little paragraph I'm going to read of this other card. And again, I was just this morning, before I even went out to my deck, I've got like, I don't know, a dozen decks of cards. I just go, which cards do I need today? And I close my eyes and I pick. And sometimes I'll get a vision of a picture of like the cover of a deck, and I'll go, okay, that one flashes into my mind, I'll grab that. I randomly picked these two oracle decks this morning before I'd gone into any of my practices that I shared with you, my meditation, my journaling, before any of that, right? And it's like these cards tell me exactly what I need to hear. This other card in my new deck, Medicine Heart, again by Alana Fairchild. I love this chick. It said ascending capacity. I'm just going to read to you this first paragraph because this is a long card. It says challenges in your life are means to a greater end, catalyzing your readiness for an increased flow of grace and refining your ability to handle higher levels of spiritual electricity and responsibility. Continue to engage in your process, recognizing that your limits are being tested. You can't make this up. I rarely pick cards about being tested, and I got two today. At the same time, take care and apply wisdom so that you navigate the line between breakdown and breakthrough. This is a testing time, but with an extremely positive end view in sight. Embrace your power while surrendering to your wisdom. And that's what I felt when I was writing down in my journal this morning. I felt like I was having a breakdown, feeling the feels of everything that was going wrong. But then I turned it into a breakthrough when I started to look at, what do I want that's more than hard? So I'm asking you the question, girls, what's worth it? Because I think hard is getting to the end of my life with regrets. Hard, when I say hard, harder than how I'm feeling right now, is knowing I had more within me and quitting on myself and looking back 20 years time going, why did you not just push through? Hard is living a life of mediocrity, of living a life that you know you want more, but you're settling with what's comfortable. That is hard. Even yesterday, I walked down here, right? And this house literally landed in our lap. And I've spoke to you about that in previous podcast episodes. It was hard, getting it. You'll listen to that podcast episode. But as I walked down here yesterday afternoon, Brock, we got a new ski. Actually, I'm going to talk to you about that in a whole other episode because it's amazing how that opened up and what come through there. A lot of powerful lessons in that example. But Brock jumped on the ski yesterday afternoon and he went out for a ride, and I'm watching him out in the water. I had work to do, and then I just went, fuck it, I want to get on the ski. So he come back in. I ran down the jetty with my life jacket and said, mate, take me out for a drive. And I haven't been out with him for a long time. I usually go with Tom or I ride myself. And I'm on the back with him. And it's like your son, and he's standing riding. And when I'm riding with Tom, I hold Tom and I grip on, and Tom's fine with that. Brock, he wants to stand up, and so I'm hanging on the back. There's like a strap, almost like you're sitting on the back of a bucking bronco. So it felt like I'm holding on to this strap. We're cruising out here, nice. We get out of the 6-knot zone. He flogs it, and I knew he was going to do that. But the way he rides, he stands up, he's limber, he's like 19. He just kind of goes from side to side, side to side. I'm on the back like this, getting chucked left, right. And I'm like, Brock, this is crazy, man. This is hectic. You just slow down. And sometimes that is how it can feel. You can feel like you're getting chucked around. You can feel like you are seriously in so much turbulence and you've got no control and you're just hanging on for dear life, and you're like, when is this gonna end? And he's throwing me around. I'm like, don't you throw me off. I just washed my hair. And well, what's the worst thing that happened? I fell off. If I fell off, whatever, I just get back on. It's no big deal. But I literally felt like I was being thrown around. And on the weekend just gone, we skied up to Kooringal, which is the bottom of Moreton Island. From our house, it's 90 minutes. We cruised up there, and I shared some stuff on my stories, how it was beautiful. There were dolphins swimming under our ski. There were turtles. There were starfish. I'm swimming down, picking up starfish. The water is crystal clear, beautiful Whitsunday water. Epic. I'm sharing some stuff on my stories of how beautiful the day was. And this is on our back doorstep. I share it to go, guys, this is on our back doorstep. You don't need to take a holiday. You can get a ferry over there. You can use this as a day trip on the school holidays. Go and explore our world. Get out and explore nature, and go and have some fun and adventure, ladies. This is kind of why I was sharing it. But what people didn't see and what people won't do is sometimes they're hard. It's a 90-minute, and I know a lot of women my age that won't get on the back of a jet ski. That's fine. I like adventure, I like fun. It's a 90-minute ski ride up there. There's some section of open water between North Straddie and Moreton, and you're going through swell. On the way back, we went a lot faster on the way back. The swell was huge. The winds were up. It was choppy. We were again and I'm hanging on to Tom, and there were times when it was rough. It was so rough. And it was so much fun, but a lot of people wouldn't do that to get to that paradise. A lot of people they would be too afraid to get on the back of a ski and ride 90 minutes because some of it was through open water where the ocean comes in and the swell was big. Some people would be fearful of there's sharks down there. Some people would be fearful, what if I get thrown off? Some people would be fearful of, I don't even know if I have the courage to even try it. And like, I've come back. There were times it was so rough, even like Tom wasn't driving too stupid, and he's very mindful of me on the back, and it's harder as the driver. He's driving, he's got me on the back, he's hanging on, and we were just getting smashed on the way home with the swell and the chop. I got like a rash. It's almost like a carpet burn on my inner thigh where my knee was gripping onto the ski. It felt like I've done 30 thigh Pilates workouts in a row. My thighs are still sore and it's Thursday. This was on Sunday from gripping. But I'm like, thank God I do Pilates because I just sit there and I just grip on with my inner thighs. I lock on my core. So I just kind of feel like I'm at one with the ski and I'm flowing along. But with the salt water rubbing along your legs on the seat, I just stop and say, Tom, I need to grab my towel and sit on my towel and wrap it around my legs. My legs is rubbing. But my point with all of that is you see the paradise, you see the results, you see how beautiful it is, but there can be a bumpy ride to get there. There can be getting out of your comfort zone. There can be hard. There can be fear. There can be turbulence. There can be all these things that go along with paradise. And it's like when people go overseas, they go, they see everything, but they don't have the courage to get on an airplane, or it's part of the process. Waiting at airports, traveling 24 hours to spend a week in Malta, it's part of the process. And I just accept that is part of the process for this end result that I want. So ask yourself, what is the end result that you want? What is the hard that you're prepared to endure, the risk you're prepared to take, the unknown, the uncertainty of what lies beneath, of what's going to happen? All of those things happen to people on the way to success. And I see it in other people. I learn from that. And I see the time it takes. I go, okay, it's not all roses. There are challenges that we have to endure along the way, but what can I do? I can get connected to my spiritual life. I can work through the hard. I can push through my limits. I can ask myself the question, and I can seek spiritual support. That spiritual support, whether you call it God, universe, source, love, guides, protection, whatever, is going to help you on your path. Connect into that. And I'm going to teach you that in my Return to Authenticity program. I'm going to teach you the how. And it's a really powerful program to step you through week by week. Anyway, I've got other episodes on that. Go and listen to them. But I wanted to share that story with you today, girls. I wanted to share, and out of everything that happened to me this morning, I went, I need to teach on this. This is going to make a good podcast episode to teach people about pushing through their hard and what is their hard. And I hope that helps you guys. I hope that helps with a different perspective. I hope that helps give you some clarity. I hope that helps you see a bigger purpose. I hope that helps you see that your results are worth it and you've got more potential, you've got more purpose, you've got more inside you than you realize, girls. Push through the hard because that paradise is on the other side. The results that you want are bigger than the hard. Sending you so much light and love, angels. Have a beautiful, amazing day. And I will see you soon, my friends. Bye.